going on, guys? Welcome in. I am Kadarius Washington, and you're checking out the Sports Rundown. It's a pleasure to have you guys in as always, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell to be notified of when I post again, and also follow me on Twitter and on Bluesky at CW Talk Sports. That's CWTALKS Sports. And folks, we are one step closer to crowning a new NBA champion. The OKC Thunder could close this thing out on Thursday night unless the Indiana Pacers force a Game 7 on Sunday night. But before we get to that, I'm going to be ranking for you guys the last 10 NBA champions. The last 10 teams to hold up the Larry O'Brien trophy from 2015 through 2024. Of course, in 2015, we had the Golden State Warriors. 2016, the Cleveland Cavaliers. 2017 and 18, Golden State. 2019, Toronto. 2020, we had the Lakers. 2021, we had the Milwaukee Bucks. 2022, Golden State again. 2023, the Denver Nuggets. And then, of course, 2024, last season, my beloved Boston Celtics. And we're going to be ranking all of those teams for you. And here we go. Starting at number 10, I'm going to give you the 2019 Toronto Raptors. They won 58 games that year. They were fifth in both offense and defense. They beat Orlando in the first round in 5 games. They beat Philadelphia in 7. Of course, that Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater at the end of Game 7 clinched it for them. They beat Milwaukee in 6. And then, of course, they beat Golden State in the final in 6 there. So a couple of things with this Toronto team. Of course, if that ball takes one more or one less bounce in Game 7 of that 76ers series, the game goes to overtime, and who knows what would have happened then. And then, of course, in the NBA Finals, and I stand by this, if Kevin Durant doesn't pop his Achilles, Golden State wins that series going away. But that was still an incredible Toronto team. You got to give them credit. Kawhi Leonard, that was an incredible, insane one-year run from getting traded from San Antonio to Toronto, winning a championship there, and then, of course, jetting to Clip City the next season. 2019 Toronto Raptors, I have them at number 10. At number 9, I'm going to give you the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks. They only played 72 games that season because of COVID. They won 46 games that year. They were a plus 550 in the preseason to win the championship. They sweep Miami in the first round. They beat Brooklyn in 7 in the second round. They beat Atlanta in 6 in the conference final. And then, of course, they come back from down 0-2 in the finals to beat the Phoenix Suns in 6. And a couple of things about Milwaukee, kind of the same thing with the 2019 Toronto Raptors. There are 2 series where literally a twist of a basketball or a toe literally could have changed the whole trajectory of their championship runs. For Milwaukee, if Kevin Durant's toe was 1 inch shorter than it actually was, Brooklyn wins that series. And then, of course, Phoenix, who I thought was the better team that year, of course, having that 0-2, that 2-0 lead, and then Milwaukee coming back. I mean, either way, nevertheless, it was I like that Milwaukee team. That was one of my favorite teams to watch. Very likable, and of course, I was definitely happy for Giannis Antetokounmpo getting that championship, but I have the 2021 Bucks at number 9 on my list. And at number 8, I'm going to give you the 2015 Golden State Warriors. Now, I know they won 67 games that year. They were the second best offense and the best defense in the league that year. They were a plus 2,800 in the preseason to win the championship. And, of course, they sweep the Pelicans in the first round. They beat Memphis in 6. They beat Houston in 5 in the conference final. And then, of course, they beat the Cavs in 6 in the NBA final. But you could argue, too, that if the Cleveland Cavaliers were fully healthy, Cleveland probably wins that series, or bare bones minimum, that series goes to 7. Of course, Kyrie Irving dealing with that knee injury after Game 1, and then Kevin Love not playing in that series, and of course Golden State winning that one going away. So I have Golden State 2015 at number 8 on my list, and at number 7, I'm going to give you the 2022 Golden State Warriors. They won 53 games that year. They were the best defense in the NBA that season. They were a plus 900 in the preseason to win the championship. They beat Denver in 5. They beat Memphis in 6, including that very, very weird 50-point blowout loss with a Memphis team with no Ja Morant. And then, of course, they beat the Mavericks in 5 in the conference final, and they beat my Boston Celtics in 6 in the NBA final. And really, I thought Boston was the better team in that NBA final, and of course, Boston having that 2-1, and it really should have been 3-1 series lead. But Golden State, they were the more experienced team. They had that championship pedigree, of course, with Clay Curry and Draymond. They used that to their advantage, and of course, they take out my Celtics in 6 in the championship that year. So the 2022 Warriors I have at number 7. At number 6, I'm going to give you the 2020 Los Angeles Lakers. They went on, and that was an absolute incredible team. They went on an absolute incredible run. I understand it was the bubble, but that was a phenomenal run for them nonetheless. They beat Portland in 5. They beat Houston in 5. They beat Denver in 5, and then they beat Miami in 6 in the championship. They were a plus 450 in the preseason to win. They were the third best defense in the league that year, and pretty much this was a Laker team where pretty much everybody and their grandmother knew that the Lakers were going to win the championship that year. But nevertheless, that was a really good team, a really good run. Not a really good, really great team, and a great run there. I have the 2020 Lakers at number 6. At number 5, I'm going to give you the 2016 Cavaliers. 57 wins that year. Third best offense in the league, top 10 in defense, plus 280 in the preseason to win the championship. They sweep the Pistons, they sweep the Hawks, they beat Toronto in 6, and then, of course, obviously, coming back down from 3-1 to beat Golden State in 7. Now, listen, if you want to argue that if Draymond didn't get suspended in Game 6, Golden State wins that series, we can have a conversation. But and another thing about the first 2 Cleveland Golden State matchups, they kind of remind me of those 2 Miami Heat Dallas Maverick finals that we had in 2006 and 2011. Of course, in 2006, we thought that the Dallas Mavericks were the better team, but the Miami Heat won the championship that year, just like in 2011 when we thought the Miami Heat were the better team, but the Dallas Mavericks won the championship that year. That's kind of what I got from those 2015 and 2016 Cleveland Golden State matchups. But nevertheless, the 2016 Cavs, that run, and of course, coming back down from that historic deficit, I have the 2016 Cavs at number 5 on my list. And at number 4, I'm going to give you the 2018 Golden State Warriors. They won 58 games that year. They had the third best offense in the league that year. They were a minus 187 to win the championship. They disposed of the Spurs in 5. They defeated the Pelicans in 5. They beat the Houston Rockets in 7. And, of course, they swept the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA final. Now, listen, with this Golden State team, if you want to argue that if Chris Paul was healthy, Houston wins the series, we could have a conversation. But this was obviously just like the 2017 team that we're going to get to in a little bit. This was essentially the same core, the same team as that 2017 squad, of course, with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry and Draymond in the gang. But the 2018 Warriors, I have them at number 4 on my list. At number 3, I'm going to give you the 2023 Denver Nuggets. They went on one of the all-time great postseason runs that year. They defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves in 6. They beat the Phoenix Suns. Well, no, they beat the Timberwolves in 5. My mistake there. They beat the Phoenix Suns in 6. They swept the Lakers in the conference final, and then they defeated the Miami Heat in the championship that year. They were a plus 1,800 in the preseason to win the title. They had the 5th best offense in the league, and that was a very phenomenal team there. I was definitely happy to see Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray and that squad there. But nevertheless, that was an incredible team that year. That was an incredible run that they went on. The 2023 Nuggets I have at number 3 on my list. At number 2, I'm going to give you the 2024 Boston Celtics. They went on another all-time great postseason run, 16-3 that year after winning 64 games in the regular season. They were the top-ranked offense in the league, the 3rd best defense. They beat the Miami in 5. They beat Cleveland in 5. They swept the Pacers. And, of course, they beat the Dallas Mavericks in 5. That was an absolutely incredible team. Arguably one of the best offensive teams in NBA history. The 2024 Celtics, I have them at number 2. And then at number 1, and you already know where I'm going with this, the 2017 Golden State Warriors. When you think of the all-time greatest teams in NBA history, the 96 Bulls, the 86 Celtics, the 72 Lakers, the 83 Sixers, the 67 Sixers, you got to put the 2017 Golden State Warriors on this list. 67 wins that year. They were the league's best offense. They were the 2nd best defense. They were a minus 128 to win the championship that year. Ranking as far as the preseason is concerned. And, of course, it was an offseason where they obviously acquired Kevin Durant. And not even just that. They were just coming off a year where they won 73 games. That 73-9 run, and then they followed up with a championship in 2017. And they went on, by far, the greatest postseason run in NBA history. They swept the Trailblazers. They swept the Jazz. They swept the Spurs. Their only loss in the postseason that year was Game 4 of the NBA Finals against Cleveland, where Kyrie Irving went absolutely bonkers in that game. And, of course, Golden State closing out the finals on their home court in Game 5. That 2017 Golden State Warrior team, one of the greatest teams in NBA history, an incredible run, an incredible series. They're at number 1. So at number 10, I gave you the 2019 Toronto Raptors. Number 9, the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks. Number 8, the 2015 Golden State Warriors. Number 7, the 2022 Golden State Warriors. Number 6, the 2020 Los Angeles Lakers. Number 5, the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 4, the 2018 Golden State Warriors. Number 3, the 2023 Denver Nuggets. Number 2, the 2024 Boston Celtics. And number 1, the 2017 Golden State Warriors. And of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder could join this list as early as Thursday night with a win in Game 6, unless the Indiana Pacers force a Game 7 on Sunday night, by which anything could happen after that. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Bluesky at CW Talk Sports. That's CWTALKS Sports. And I will see y'all the next time. Peace.